Is to be prompt. All right, welcome in 6:30, Friday before Labor Day weekend. This week's code of conduct is to be prompt, start on time, work, appointments, projects, etc. Ben, is there anything that you would like to add on this code item of this for the week?
Sure, Matt. Yeah, we're getting into the tail end of the season, and we want to finish strong. And this code item is very important, and it's a pertinent one because I think all of us are dealing with this on an everyday basis lately, with all the things that are happening in the world, especially with all the COVID stuff, and it's been a long season. This code item is the one that I think is the most easily judged by everyone else, because either you're there or you're not. And if we make a commitment to be there and we're not, whether it's an appointment or especially at the beginning of the day, it's a visual indication to everyone that you're not there. It's interpreted, as an indication of your initiative, of your commitment to the other people on the team, and also it is taken as a respect to the other people that you're going to be working with or meeting with. So it's a sign of respect, and people do take it personally when others aren't there. It's the first successful thing that you can do in the day, that you can be successful at. If you plan ahead, leave yourself a little extra time. It's something that I've seen a lot of people here over the years be very successful at. You know, there's always those people that it's like, oh my gosh, that guy is always there. How come he is always there? Usually the people that are there a little bit earlier are the ones that are very successful at it because they got a little time. But we are very successful at it here, but we can do a little bit of work on it. It takes self-discipline, and it directly affects our reputation and what's said out there. I think we all got to start every day, especially moving forward in the season, with a good briefing and a good plan for the day, and just being there to be part of that is important. It's respectful to the rest of the team to be there when you can be there, but if you're not going to be there and something's going to affect your ability to be on time, we all have the ability to make phone calls. I think almost everyone here probably has a phone and the ability to make a phone call, and we should all trade phone numbers on the crew so that we can get a hold of the foreman or the person that's running the meeting that we're going to go to, and give them a call and let them know, hey, I'm not going to make it. I'm going to be 10 minutes late. That way the team can continue on with what they're doing. You can take your time to get there, or things can be reconfigured. What's nice about these days is you can actually make that call. In the old days, if you didn't have a phone and you got a flat tire, because we didn't have them, the whole crew could be waiting for me if I had a flat tire on the interstate coming down to leave for an out-of-town job, and nobody would know because if they weren't in earshot of the company radio, then I wouldn't be able to communicate, and everybody would be sitting there waiting for me for, however long it took me. So nowadays, just pull over, call somebody, let them know ahead of time. Don't put it off. And especially, I think, Matt, you will probably back me up on this. Don't do unsafe things to try to make it when you know it's probably not going to happen. It's like, correct. If it's obvious, if your gut tells you, boy, it's going to be tight. We do it at our meetings. Ken and I, even, we have meetings that we don't make. We don't always hit this mark every time. And when we're in meetings with each other or others, a lot of times it'll be a text or an email or a call that says, hey, I ain't going to make it. I'm not going to make it. We're flexible enough so that we can kind of readapt. And it's a lot nicer to kind of put things off. I think we did it yesterday for 15 minutes on one of our meetings, and we all knew ahead of time, and we all did other things, and it didn't affect anybody. And it was a successful little meeting that we had, but it was all about the communication that we had. So I want to make sure that I thank everyone who has been doing really well at this, everyone that's done that, everyone has probably done well at this year at one time or another. Some people have struggled a little bit, but thank you to all of those employees, especially the ones that have a spotless record on this one, because there are those that have an apparent spotless record on this. I think it takes a lot of work on their part and self-discipline. So thank you. And then to the other people that are struggling, just do better. Do better at it, because you need to. It's going to help you, and it's going to help us as a company. And I want you to work on it. And I will work on it. I still have some work to do myself. All of us do. Moving forward for the rest of the season, I want the leaders and the other people, everyone, to pay attention to this one, because at the end of the season, if we can finish strong, it's going to be a benefit to everyone. And I think this is a good criteria when we start moving ahead. A lot of people want to have better feedback on how they're doing. They want to be evaluated. They want to have a sit down. I think this is going to be one of the criteria. If we are able to do a good job at that in the future, then this is going to be one of the major criteria. That's the low-hanging fruit for people to say, boy, you know what? That guy always shows up. That girl always gets that truck here on time. You know, that person is always, that's always one of the first things that people say in any evaluation is, you know what? That person is dependable. So that's, you asked me to say a little bit on it. This is a huge subject. It's very important to all of us. And probably this is the thing that I hear the most on an everyday basis that there's issues about. And this has led to safety issues. It's led to inefficiency and getting started late at times. And it's really it costs us a lot as a company when we're not doing really well at this one. This one actually leads into a lot of the other ones. So that being said, I'm gonna ask Ken if he hasn't, fill in whatever I missed or whatever. I just think this one's really important for us to stress, Ken, as the leaders, to everyone, that this is important, and we're gonna help back it up and look at it.
Right, I agree. It's an important topic, and in our case, with the communication available to us, we can reach out, and it won't correct the issue, but it will allow the rest of the people depending on you to adjust their work plan with knowledge of what's going on and when you'll arrive and where maybe you could meet up with them.
Yep.
Okay.
Hey, thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you. Moving on. Our record is continuing. Excellent job this week. Another 7 days without a recordable injury. We're up to 102 days without a recordable. So let's keep up the good communication and discussing our job site hazards each and every day, and setting up those proper controls to mitigate those, and also putting contingency plans in place for known hazards that we may have. So this week's topic, I kind of wanted to do a little bit of a micro discussion, just kind of going into the Labor Day weekend of just kind of, we don't really probably talk enough a little bit about our safety program, but you know, with Labor Day here and labor rights and the employer-employee relationship, you know, this is a kind of a great tool that we have, you know, tool for our toolbox to have is a safety program manual that we can always go back and revisit to kind of calibrate ourselves, or what we need to kind of refocus on at times in our career development, or just of things that we're struggling with. So our mission in the safety of engineers construction is we strive to maintain a corporate culture of safe work practices to protect our workers, the public, and the environment. And that kind of is that what we hear all the time is kind of safety first. But for safety to be first, you really have to live it first. You have to really put it as a priority in your day-to-day planning and your day-to-day decision making, that you're really gonna kind of follow us on this mission statement. So how do we do this? We do it by maintaining a culture of safety through leadership, technical training, professional behavior, project planning, risk assessment, standardized safety practices, strong communication, documentation, and attention to details. So those 7, 8 kind of key points there is really our safety program, and it's really all of our actions and how we need to focus on each and every one of those items to really go and make it each day injury-free, accident-free on our job sites. It's a very big part of our program. It's everything that we try to stress each and every day, along with the code of conduct. Is there anything to add on this kind of topic, Ken, that you want to address?
No, I think that pretty much covers it. I'd say that, you know, if we have a safe culture, it makes everything else easier to be safe, to follow the safe practices, to know about them. Just the culture is kind of the base starting point for safe workplace.
Well, thanks, Ken, and everybody have a safe Labor Day weekend.
What?
And I'll pass
Turn it over to me.
Yeah, turn it right over to you.
Okay, let's see. Put up my screen. In the window. I can find the right one. Okay, can you see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, so safety focus was the ECI safety mission and our safety program manual. So announcements, of course, it's Labor Day weekend, so a long weekend, kind of traditional end of the official summer, with kind of a Monday recognition of Labor Day and what Labor Day means. And ECI is going to be closed on Monday. Our time for everyone should be submitted and approved by 7 a.m. on Tuesday morning. So the sooner the better, because the approval process still has to go through your supervisor. And secure your job sites for the long weekend. Typically, long weekends are when we have issues on vandalism or theft, but also we want to make sure that with a little bit longer period before we arrive back at the job site, that it's the site is stable, so that, you know, there's no traffic issues with vehicles entering into our job site by accident, or maybe think there are no real weather events expected, like a flood or anything. If there was, we'd be concerned about, you know, securing the sites for conditions that erode or create a hazard to the public. So we have a couple new employees this week. We got Chandler Lesperance and William Griffin. So welcome these two guys. I met them earlier in the week, so I hope everyone can get a chance to say hi if they're on your crew, especially make sure they are welcome and kind of introduced into the ECI safety culture. For the primary ECI primary care wellness program, I'm continuing to provide the link. I understand we're starting to gain a lot of momentum in the participation for this program. So word is spreading, and if you haven't heard about it or figured out whether you want to do it, just get your baseline physical. That's all you have to do to get established into the program. And you can do that by clicking on this link or just calling up Champlain Medical and setting up an appointment. For the weather outlook, like I said, nothing serious here. Showers pretty much later weekend. Actually, it's kind of surprising. The ground is wet this morning. So COVID, we're 85.9. I saw there's a couple numbers out there floating around. I saw there was an 86.2% also, but right in that range. So nothing's really changed, except we all know the Delta variant is getting to be a bigger and bigger concern, with issues even within the company that are occurring and being contained as we speak. So we want to be cautious. If you're not vaccinated, make sure you're taking the like for the mask being recommended for unvaccinated employees working inside. Even if you're vaccinated, go ahead and put it on if you're comfortable. So this week, this project profile is just a recognition of the ECI employees are the best labor force in our industry. Got some great pictures of some teamwork. This first one is up at Bushy's Pit. They're doing some screening of topsoil. Guys are loading up the screening plant and hauling away the debris. Here's a couple cranes, a tandem crane pick, and looks like Ken Howard directing the movements of the cranes to set this precast piece. All great teamwork, cool looking stuff. And here we got the emulsion truck coming back, being precisely brought back to a little edge of the work area. The nozzles actually shut off in zones, so they limit the coverage in that furthest left-hand zone. It's pretty cool. And here's the shop, an earlier picture from earlier this year, I should say. We got one of the excavators in there for service. And look, there's a tough guy holding a big piece of pipe. Oh, it's a cardboard pipe. Okay. It looks pretty cool. I like that handling a whole piece of pipe by yourself. That's pretty cool. Even if it is cardboard. And here are the guys doing some concrete screening off the concrete for the slab. This is the one at General Dynamics. We're traveling off, I should say, and then dumping a load of gravel over on Williston Road. And here, I like this one. This is the railroad crew down at College Street. You can all see they're all working right in to do something there. I wasn't really, I don't recall what it was when I saw it. I was stepped back quite a few feet, as you can see, because I zoomed in for that picture. This is looking down into the vault at UVM, at the Steamline vault. They're doing some demo work in some pretty tight quarters to demo the wall for the replacement concrete work, because this steam manhole had badly deteriorated, and the demo work was really tough inside an existing steam manhole with all kinds of valves and piping. This was down in Dorset, Vermont. It was interesting where the state had us put this layer of asphalt down below the track and the track ballast and sub ballast and everything. It was an interesting little design, a lot of work though. There's the guys at the culvert working together to backfill against the footing. There's the guys in Rutland taking the pulling device off the conduit. A little subgrading going on here over at the bike path. And some layout at the bike path. And this is a pile load test up in Swanton for a project where we installed mini piles, micro piles. And then there's the Pipers. That was a cool father and son shot of their little team. And there's the new mill with Matt up there. And then this is a pretty cool picture because I think it's funny because the wheelbarrow operator, can't tell who it is. The face is in the shade there. I think it's Jacob, but he's moving so fast he's blurry. And that's what I got for the project. For the photo archive, I put this in because we're obviously getting to that time of year when we have to start kind of realizing that winter is on its way. I don't know when this was taken, but it was out back in the settling pond area where we dumped the snow. And just kind of get you thinking that summer is nearing an end here and we're going to be thinking more about winter soon. So that's what I got. I'll turn it back over to you, Matt. Everyone have a safe day, a good Labor Day weekend. Happy Labor Day to everybody. And thanks for the work so far this year. Good hard stuff with great production and a lot of good stuff to be proud of and to show off.
Well said, Ken. We'll end it at that. Have a great day.
Thanks. Take care.